what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time we are taking a look at Transformers Reveal the Shield's Grapple, not Payload. Apparently I was calling that in a pre-recording, so yeah, it's Grapple, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, with that out of the way, I got this at the Victoria's Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair, which if you guys don't know is pretty much like a thrift store for collectors and whatnot. Because, well, they got Legos, they got Transformers and whatnot throughout the years that were collected from collectors and whatnot. And people just want to sell them and, you know, make sure they go to a good home. So if you guys want to know more information about the Victoria's Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair, I will link you down in the description below. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Payload. I almost called him Payload again. It's Grapple. I'm sorry if I call him Payload. It is Grapple. Anyways, Grapple here is pretty cool, and honestly, I think this might be the best version of Grapple. Now, I don't have the Masterpiece version, I don't have the Masterpiece version of Inferno, so I can't really make that good comparison, but from what I've seen, I like this version more. I like the style, I like the look of it, I like it more. There's so much to love about this. First off, it's a very clean fire truck. Now, you can see the arms on the top there. Yes, that's kind of unfortunate. You can also see the toes right there. But if you look at some of the other grapples that have released, you would be able to tell that right here would be the arms. And it's no different on this toy. Like, right here is the arms. But it was so obvious in the original toy, and in the Masterpiece too, it's still obvious. For this one, they pretty much cleaned it up to the point where I want to call this one the I almost bit my tongue. Where I want to call this the Masterpiece instead. Now, what is different between this and the Inferno toy, because the Inferno was the original toy and this is the actual repaint, is the entire crane itself. Now, it can extend and whatnot, and you have the hook at the end, so that's pretty cool. And you also get the little construction stripe doodads on the side. And because this is a Reveal the Shields figure, you also have the Rub logo on the top here. And what a surprise, you can't really see it, but he is an Autobot, so there is that. Lots of nice detail with the hydraulics and whatnot. Looks very cool. Some of it does look too much like a fire truck, but it's not that far off from what I could consider to be a construction crane, so that's pretty cool. And the little bits on the bottom here, that's pretty cool. Very flat on the back. Unfortunately, this yellow is painted, so that kind of sucks, which is, it's weird because I'm seeing the black, and the black part is actually screwed into place. Now, I think it's because it's actually molded in silver, but I'm not sure because it looks like it's painted over with silver, so it looks like a piece that, yep, it's molded in black and then painted over with yellow that I don't believe is anywhere else on this toy, and then painted over with silver so none of the black can be seen. I don't get it. It's weird, but whatever. I mean, it looks off from the back here, but that's pretty much the only time where it just looks off. Anything else, you know, it's fine. It does have joints for the crane itself. You can lift it up and down. You could also turn it side to side. Now, it's got this joint right here. And when you move it from there, it looks a little off-center. It does have a joint right around here. At the actual hinge itself, not the base. So, there is that, but I find it just, it moves too often from this joint more so than this joint, so keep an eye out for that. But anyways, let's go ahead and transform the figure, because I'm pretty sure you guys want to know how it's transformed, unless you guys already know. Anyways, to transform Grapple into his robot mode, first take the gray bits and flip them out to the side, which I like the fact that it actually has panels, and it's not like the modern Transformers figures where they just kind of leave stuff out in the open. Anyways, pop this up like so, and you can bring the legs down if you want to get them out of the way, and flip these little panels to the side here, so you got that. Next, take the crane and just rotate it like so. That will make sure it's out of the way of what you're doing. And this is the tricky part. You want to pretty much separate all this. So all this, these panels right here, and then all the way from the back here will split apart. And you not just do that, and it's great if you can actually lift this up, but you have to pull out the arm too, so there's that. And there's just a lot of connection points, so you gotta watch out for that. After that, you can flip this down like that if you want, but I like to flip it like that all the way. So you got that. Anyways, so with that out of the way, let's move on to the legs. Okay, now to start off with the legs, I usually just pop this piece off. You can see a little hole right there. Okay, I'll try and show it later. Anyways, separate the legs like so, and rotate the legs like that. Some of the joints are very loose, and some of the parts are just so heavy that it's going to kind of wiggle around in your hands, so just watch out for that. Anyways, flip out the toes like that, and there we go. Next, take the wheels, flip them around like so, and bring this down like that. And what I was talking about was, you can see this little hole right there. There is a peg right there that would go into for the alt mode. You have to separate that before bringing down the waist, otherwise you might break it. Anyways, this section will flip down like so. You can flip these down like that. And take this entire black piece and just flip it down for right now. And take this light right here and push it down like that. And what I mean by down is not like this, like how I had it, like this. So, there. Anyways, the head would flip out, like so, which is pretty cool. And then you take this section and you fill out the back. And there you have Grapple in his robot mode. And I really like the look of this. I really like the style. His boxy look just really feels nice. Like, he feels like a modern day Grapple, which I really do like. I enjoy the style of the Masterpiece, but I mean, that's meant to be like the old Generation 1 Grapple, but it just had too many like rounded off parts that just, it didn't look right for me. For this, it feels like it's coming from a fire truck, or not fire truck, but a construction truck. And I really do like the style of it. I think the coloring is very nice. I actually like the colors on this probably more than Inferno because it pops out a little bit more. For a size comparison, let me get a figure for you guys in the back. Here we are. I got one. And we'll compare him to Hoist. So that's pretty cool. I like the comparison on that. I like having these two together because it's a reference to some old Generation 1 episodes. So that's very nice. And yeah, I just think they look good together. And for another size comparison, let's bring out a modern day figure. And we have Vortex. So there you go. There's a little comparison. There you go. There you go. What more do you want from me? Okay. Anyways, so the figure itself is pretty cool, but some of the joints don't really hold up. It's not really that they're loose, it's just you got so much weight on certain parts that it just doesn't really want to hold. Like, for example, like you can bring the arm out like that, that's fine, but you do that with this arm and it's going to droop every time. So there's that. And even if you just bring it out like this, it wants to droop. The legs are the same thing, not as bad as this arm, but they are pretty bad because they got a lot of rotation joints, and the knee is actually the best part about this, or at least the best joint on the entirety of the legs. But you got a swivel joint that sometimes doesn't really want to hold in place. And then you got this joint that doesn't really want to hold in place, this joint that doesn't really want to hold in place, this joint that somewhat holds in place. Actually, that's pretty good too. But what is pretty cool is you actually get a lot of articulation in the feet. I believe it's on a double joint, and the first joint is actually a hinge, which you might want to watch out for. Sorry if the camera's going blurry. My God. Oh no. Anyways, but with that, what's actually in the foot is a ball joint, so you get a lot of articulation from that, and because it's a double joint, you can actually bring that out pretty far, so it will actually hit the floor, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, sometimes he'll do this or that or whatnot. You just have to fidget with this guy and you'll get him in a good pose. You know, it's not impossible. I'm pretty sure, you know, it's okay for stop motion, but it's just something to watch out for when you want to pose it or anything like that. The head is pretty cool. Now, again, the Takara one has it in yellow, which looks cool, but I don't mind it in black too, so that's fine. I like how the back section actually fills itself out quite well. Now, you get these kind of weird proportions. I mean, you can see the hip kind of sticks out further than the actual waist itself, so that's kind of weird. Or from the leg itself, I should say. I don't know anything about proportions, but yeah, it just looks kind of weird because some things are sucked in more so than others. So kind of odd with that. But nonetheless, I like the style of it. The actual chest itself doesn't have any details whatsoever that fills it out. It's just the seats, which some people might not like. I actually really do like. I mean, the Classics Ironhide that was done with the, when you moved the bumper, it would fill out and give some detail, which was pretty cool, but I like the style of this. I think this was pretty cool, because it is simple, it's charming and whatnot. I do like it. Overall, I really like Grapple. I think he's really cool. It's just the joints that I don't like, and even then, they're not that big of an issue. It's just whenever I kind of hold him and thrash him around, he's just going to move everywhere. But, I mean, it's not impossible for him to stand up on the shelf, because he has big, giant feet. And what's actually cool about this figure is the hips themselves are on these joints that stop at a certain point. Now, to some people, that might not be a good thing, because that means you can't really get too much like a kicking pose or anything like that, or certain poses that you really want to get. But at the same time, he's never going to fall over. Like, he's not going to fall over. Well, okay, maybe he is going to fall over. But, for you to get him in a static pose, he's not going to fall over. He's got too big of feet, and the fact that the hips don't really give out, except for forward and back, that's pretty cool. I actually like that. Would I prefer him if he had more hip articulation? Probably not for this figure, because of how much weight he actually carries, but I do enjoy that. So, overall, do I highly recommend this toy? I'd say yeah. I'd say go get him, if you can. I think this figure is an underrated figure today. It's just something from the past that no one really takes a look at anymore. And I think that a lot of people should get this mold. It is a very good mold. Well engineered. I believe that Inferno was actually the only Voyager that actually was a new mold in the Universe Classics lineup. I believe that there were no other Voyagers that were newly molded for that lineup. Like, I know the Classics and I know the Generations, but Universe Classics itself had nothing except for Inferno. And it was kind of upsetting because I really wanted to get Inferno and Nemesis Prime, but I believe Nemesis Prime was an exclusive, and Inferno just never really showed up here, so that was kind of upsetting. But nonetheless, I think this guy is very awesome. I love him. I love the detail. I love the shaping. I think that as far as a modern-day Grapple, this guy really works. Probably could use a different facial expression because he just looks kind of grumpy. But other than that, I am happy with this guy, and I'd recommend him to anyone. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. It's fun. Do this, and I'll see you guys next time. Fist bump.